Hey guys, first of all, I just want to say thank you for this opportunity to share with you. I know that your time is precious, and so for you to tap into and listen to part of my story just feels like an honor. So thank you so much. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chelsea Skaggs, and I am a Diamond Beachbody coach, and I am going to just share a little bit with you about my coaching story. Everyone's story is different, and it makes it so cool because we can relate to one another. We relate to different coaches, different people on their health journey, and so I always feel like it's important to share our stories and to know where other people are coming from and find our tribe that we resonate with. So, I am a Diamond coach, and I'm working on helping some of my personally sponsored coaches now get to Diamond. So it's really cool to be in a place where I'm focused on helping them to build their business. Empowering women is my passion, and I hope that you feel and hear that through my story. I have been a Beachbody coach now for 2 years. I actually started because I was in a place in my life where I was stressed out, having anxiety attacks. I was so unhappy. I was working long hours, and the last thing I could think about was taking care of myself. I've always been a helper and a giver, and so for me to stop and take care of myself felt selfish, to be honest. I just always thought of it as selfish. What I realized was that I was not being the best version of myself, and I was giving off that stress, that anxiety. I was snapping at people. I was not as patient and loving as I knew I could be. And so someone kindly let me know that maybe it was time I took some care of myself. And so I joined an online accountability group without really knowing what that meant. I had never heard of one before. I had tried various methods of getting healthier. I tried different diets, and I'd stick with it for a few days, and then I would focus on all the things I couldn't have, and I'd be frustrated, and I'd be like, forget it. I'm done with this. Very similar experience for me with exercise. So I have pretty much always just been, a medium-sized girl. I gained a lot of weight from a medication when I was starting high school. I'd been super skinny before then as a little kid, but then, high school, all these things change, and it was really hard for me to gain about 20 pounds from a medication in high school. And I remember that kind of started some insecurities for me. It started a path towards some negative mindsets and negative emotional eating, and some habits that were not healthy that followed that. And I share a little bit more about that with people as we get into conversations. So if that's something that resonates with you, definitely open to sharing a little bit more. But that's when I first started to notice that maybe I had to be more intentional about my weight and how my weight affected other health factors in my life. So I did a number of fad diets, like I said, and I tried different workout things. I would go to the gym, and this was high school, college, and a couple years after college. I'd go to the gym, I'd get a gym membership, I paid for it every month, so I would go, and I would try different machines. Really, I would just go in and be like, okay, if I can do a half hour of cardio and a half hour of weights, that's probably good, right? And sometimes I would have like mediocre results, but I never really had what I was looking for when it comes to results. And I just didn't know what was missing. I didn't know how to address it. But I kept going, and I usually went when my favorite TV show was on, so I could be on the treadmill at that time. And then I would just see what machines are open and try them out. And that wasn't bad. Like, my intentions were really good, and I wanted to be healthier, but I just didn't know how to piece it all together and make a cohesive plan for myself. So that was what I did for a while. I did that as I was trying to get in better shape for my wedding, and I lost some weight, and I felt pretty good about myself for my wedding. But that came with just a lot of negative mindsets and negative self-talk and focusing on deprivation. So I didn't want to do that again. I didn't want to focus on what I couldn't have because it just took me down unhealthy roads. So I kind of let myself go after that, moved to Arkansas. I was teaching, and this is the point where I was super stressed out, and something had to change. And so what needed to change was me and my health and my taking care of me. And so what I did, I joined an accountability group. I did 21 Day Fix, which was recommended to me by my coach, and it was 30 minutes a day. I could do it. And there was a calendar. So every single day I knew what to push play on. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to search YouTube. I didn't have to look around the gym to see what was open. I knew what to do. And because it was developed by a trainer who knows what she's doing, it was effective. It worked for me. It stuck. Like, I finished out 21 days, which I know that doesn't seem like a long time, but it was for me. That was a big deal. And I, throughout that time, learned about nutrition. I didn't just learn what to eat to lose weight quick, or how to get rid of all carbs or get rid of all fats or things like that. I learned what my body needs and what my body was made to respond to. And that's how I started eating. Instead of thinking I can't have all these things because they're bad, I was able to start thinking, wow, I want to have these kinds of foods because they do for my body what my body needs. So that was just a transformation of mindset for me. And I had been actually put on anxiety meds, and I told myself, you know what, I'm going to try this healthy lifestyle change before I take them. And I will tell you, not that there's anything wrong with taking meds when you need them. They have their time and place, but in that time and in that place, I did not, and I have not ever taken those medications. And so that feels like such a victory to me. So from there, I did probably 4 or 5 accountability groups where I just kept learning. I kept pushing play. I moved on to another program to challenge myself some more. I kept learning about nutrition and what was clean eating, because you guys, I didn't get it all down right away. It took months, and it's something 2 years later I'm still learning and growing all the time. But my intentions were there. I learned how to eat in portions. I learned how to grocery shop in a way that was not breaking the bank, but was still fueling my body for me and my family nutritionally. So fast forward, a few months later, I decided to become a coach, and mostly I just did it because I loved Shakeology, and I wanted 25% off of it because I knew I was going to keep using it. So I signed up for that. And then I thought, you know what, it'd be fun to invite a few people to do this with me. So I would message people and reach out every once in a while and say, hey girl, this is something I'm doing. It has been so good for me. Would you be interested? And so I would invite people. I'd run groups with my upline sponsors, and I would invite people, and some people would join, and that was great. I got to help them out a little bit. But I wasn't all in. I was just inviting people here and there on the side. And that started to pick up momentum. Again, I was a full-time teacher, and I was just squeezing in time during my lunch break and before bed. And so I kept doing that, and I kept adding a little bit more time to it. Not necessarily because I was thinking about the business aspect at that time, but because it was so life-giving for me to have this positive community and this positive interaction, and to be able to give what I had learned to other people, because the freedom from anxiety, the freedom from not knowing how to take care of yourself, the freedom from that negative self-talk and self-image is an amazing gift, and that was what I wanted to spread to other people. So I was just doing that on the side here and there, and kind of laying a foundation, which I'm really glad now that I did. Fast forward a little bit more, and I became pregnant. And so two things about that. One, I realized, wow, more than ever, it is so cool that I know how to take care of my body, because now there's another little life that's depending on it. And you hear all the time, like, pregnancy is the time you don't have to think about what you eat and you're eating for two, but I don't think that's true. I had some pregnancy cravings, and I ate more chips and ice cream probably than I would on a regular basis. But I also felt like it was such a gift for me to eat nutritionally and to give those nutrients to my baby as he was growing inside of me. So I was so thankful for everything I learned, and I think it's just an amazing gift to be able to give. But I also realized, wow, I don't want to be a teacher when I have a baby at home. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but for me personally, I did not think I could handle it, and I did not think that that was what I wanted. And so I realized in my hands was this business opportunity that would just be me living passionately. And I wasn't necessarily expecting to replace my full-time teaching salary right away. My husband and I decided that it was worth taking a financial cut and, letting me stay home. But I also knew I wanted to add to the family. I needed to add some income to the family. And I love connecting with women, and I knew that right after you give birth is a time that's hard for moms. You're figuring out your new identity. You are with a baby all day long, and I love my son more than words can say. But I need adult interaction. I need tasks to accomplish that aren't the dishes or diaper changes. And I need that camaraderie. And that's what I find in my team. And that's what I find in the women I get to work with who are also moms, or women who are maybe thinking about being moms in the future, or just women who are passionate about empowering themselves and empowering other people. And so I knew I needed that. My son is now, I'm going to skip a little bit. It was great to have that healthy pregnancy and to be able to kind of bounce back from that, to know how to fuel my body well and to bounce back from the baby weight, because that's hard. And I'm not there yet. Like, I'm still pounds away from my pre-baby weight or whatever, but I feel really good and strong, and I feel like I am giving to my son. I'm being a mom, and I'm also taking care of myself. And when I see him like playing with me and interacting when I'm working out, or start to try to do the things and mirror the things I'm doing, there is no greater joy than to know that my son is going to think about women in this way that is strong and healthy and caring for themselves. And that is something I plan to give to him. But fast forward, I love this business, and it really took some soul searching for me to decide, was this for me? Was this something I truly wanted to go all in with? Excuse me. Because it's been hard sometimes, and it's not this overnight thing, but it is something I cannot imagine not having in my life. I cannot imagine how we would have gotten through this last year without an extra $1,000 or so that I'm bringing in. You guys, I'm bringing that in a couple hours a day during nap time, and I'm bringing that in doing something I love, connecting with women, helping them to be their best selves, and helping them to feel good. And that gives me life. It doesn't only bring me income, it brings me life and joy and camaraderie. And so as I'm continuing on, again, I am continuing to focus on helping people to learn how to fuel their bodies well and take care of themselves. And I'm also in a place where I get to mentor other women and help them to then reach out and mentor people in their network, which is so incredible to think about. I've loved community. I love networking. I love leadership and helping people. And this has given me a place to do that in a way that resonates with me in my heart, and my desire to see women being empowered and to see women empowering women and to set an example. You guys, moms and women are the foundation of families. We set the tone for the food in our house, for the schedule, for the fitness, for activities. And so when moms step forward and say, I'm going to take a minute and take care of myself, they're not just taking care of themselves. Mom, you are taking care of your family and giving a gift of leadership to them. And so I love coaching. I love seeing women take control of their own health and their goals and realizing that you're worth it. And then I love seeing and helping women to give that gift and multiply it to other people. Are there a lot of coaches? Yeah, there are. But are there a lot more people out there who want to get healthy but don't know where to start, or who have started before but don't have the motivation to keep going because there's nobody supporting them? Yes, there are so many people who need our inspiration, our encouragement, just our love and our friendship, and that is what a coach is. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be a swimsuit model. You don't have to be like some guru. You have to be someone who cares about other people and their stories and give that gift of friendship and encouragement and support to them. Sometimes you're a no-nonsense nurturer and you're reminding them of their goals when it's hard for them themselves. And sometimes you are the graceful listening ear that gets to be a part of their story. So that's a little bit about me and coaching, how I got here, where I am, and where I'm planning on taking my team in the next few months. If you have an interest in joining this mission and this community, girl, I would love to get on the phone with you soon and just continue sharing my heart, but more than that, hear your heart and where you want to go. So thank you for taking some time to listen to this. I know it was a little longer than I anticipated, but I really wanted to share my heart with you guys and just to let you know who I am, because I am raw. I try to be authentic, and you're not going to get a bunch of bull crap from me because I am who I am, and I feel so good about the freedom to be me. And I want you to have the freedom to be you and to inspire other people with that. So thank you, and I am excited to chat more and hear your story.